I love efficiency. So the way I run my business is probably quite unique. Jim's Laundry Services, we have a 24-hour turnaround. I want to work as little as possible. So what I do is that Monday afternoons, I would pick up. Tuesday morning, I would pick up again and then do Monday and Tuesday's washing around midday and return all that on Tuesday afternoon. That's how I do the 24-hour turnaround. And then on Wednesday and Thursday, I repeat. And then on Friday, I pick up in the morning, do the washing, and return it on the same day. So I basically do the laundry work 3 times a week.
So Esther, thank you very much for joining us today on the Jim's podcast. And this is a great story to have. I won't go into your story that you sent to Jim, but I remember meeting you around about a year ago, actually, at the Franchise Expo. And now here we are a year later, and you're part of the Jim's family. You're doing really well, which is fantastic to hear, because we interviewed you at training and you did a lot of research, and to see you, to hear about your success 12 months later is fantastic. So maybe you want to give us a bit of a rundown about your story with Jim so far and how you've been going.
It's great to be part of the Jim's family. I have no regrets. And as people say on YouTube and all that, they wish they had joined way earlier. Mm-hmm. And I sometimes think that if I had joined 5 or 10 years earlier, my life would have been very different, probably better in a lot of ways. Anyway, so my story is that I had been wanting to buy a family business. So I did some research during COVID. I was initially thinking about joining Jim's bookkeeping. So I actually started doing a Cert 4 in bookkeeping because I thought if I can join Jim's bookkeeping, that would be good. But if it doesn't work out, then bookkeeping is a good business skill to have anyway. I initially looked into bookkeeping. So I actually approached probably 3 or 4 different franchises and spoke to them in detail and had looked at their contract and business arrangements. Yeah, and after all that research, I decided that Jim's was the way to go. But after I started doing my bookkeeping course, I realized that I didn't enjoy it at all. It wasn't for me. So then I started looking at different divisions within Jim's. So I looked into 3 or 4 other divisions that I was possibly interested in. I was turned away by one of the franchises in Jim's because he said that having no childcare available in Warrnambool, where I am, and having a young family, I was probably not going to be doing very well in that division. So he said, you might want to look at something else. And that was a bit of a knockback for me because usually people want to sell you their franchise. But Jim's Group, I found that they were really honest and upfront. They want you to succeed. So if you weren't going to succeed, they actually say, hey, maybe this is not the time for you, or maybe this is not the division for you, which was good. Yeah, good and bad at the same time. But thankfully, he said no. That franchise said no. So, but I didn't want to give up in joining Jim's Group. So I didn't travel 3 hours on the train to go to the Franchise Expo in Melbourne, where I knew Jim was going to be there, Jim Penman. So I introduced myself to you a year ago, and you said, okay, I can talk to Jim. And after talking to him for only 3 or 5 minutes, I told him how I've been turned away from another division, and but I still wanted to join Jim's. And I said, with my young family, I asked him what division would be suitable. And he said, you should consider Jim's Laundry Services. Yeah, and the rest is history.
There you go. And then you came into training. I remember seeing you at training, and then you sent a nice email to Jim around a year afterwards, and you're doing quite well regards to revenue for your business, which is awesome to hear as well.
Thank you.
And I was going to say, so with laundry services, obviously in a regional market, so how's it been going establishing the brand down there and establishing the actual service itself? Can you tell us how you've done it?
Okay, I think what I learned at the national training, I thought, okay, if I can put 20 or 30% of it into practice, that will really help me to get started. Yeah, because we learned so much at training and everything was so valuable. But, you have to say, okay, well, where am I going to start? So what I really took on board at the national training was that you go and approach. We are part of a Jim's Group and a Jim's family. So what I did was that I got a list of all the Jim's franchisees in my area, and I called, there were about 12 or 13 of them, and I called every single one of them. And they were all blokes. And I said, hey, I've just started in Warrnambool Jim's Laundry, and I offer you a paperwork guarantee free service, and can you let your clients know that I've started? So from that really helped me to get started. Some of them gave me contacts of their clients or support coordinators for NDIS, and that was a phenomenal.
That's great.
Yeah. So I really took on board what I learned from training, and that's how I got started.
And that's really nice to hear that as well. And that they did that for you. That's really cool. I was going to say then, so what about the business itself? How have you managed to build it to make that every month, that revenue? Because it's a good figure for a new division down there, because doing your laundry, like it's sort of, it's interesting way, like doing your laundry makes a heap of sense, but people are used to getting their lawns mowed and stuff like that and outsourcing cleaning, but still laundry is a very new thing, I guess, in terms of people going, I didn't know I could outsource that, or they might feel bad for outsourcing it. So how have you gone about, and what's the responses been from like people down, especially in Warrnambool with this?
Well, again, it goes back to the other gyms franchisees in my area. So like I approached some of the cleaners and they said, oh, every NDIS household we clean, they have a pile of laundry. They said, we're so glad that you've come on board in Warrnambool. So that gave me a lot of confidence to know that there was a market here and that people are in need of the service, but they probably don't know about it. So the gyms cleaning guys, they really help to spread the word.
Good on them, man. That's great to hear that as well. I was going to say as well, with your business, are you running it out of home, or are you doing it out of a laundry, or how do you do the work?
In the first 3 to 6 months, I was mainly doing it from home. I can run it 100% from home because I have my own brand new commercial setup. But once I got busier, and that my child started kinder, I work from a laundromat. Yeah.
So how does that work? Are you in there 4 or 5 hours a day, or do you pick ups? Maybe you're going to give the people a bit of an outline of what's your day like with your business.
I love efficiency. So the way I run my business is probably quite unique. So with Jim's Laundry Services, we have a 24-hour turnaround. I want to work as little as possible. So what I do is that on Monday afternoons, I would pick up. And on Tuesday morning, I would pick up again and then do Monday and Tuesday's washing around midday and return all that on Tuesday afternoon.
Yeah.
So that's how I do the 24-hour turnaround. And then on Wednesday and Thursday, I repeat. And then on Friday, I pick up in the morning and I do the washing and return it on the same day. So I basically do the laundry work 3 times a week, 3 days a week, but I pick up every day. Most franchisees probably would do the washing every single day, but I try to, because I realized that the best way to make good use of my time is to do a whole lot of washing in one go.
And how do you do the school drop off and pick up for your child, or how do you work around your family?
Yeah. So I worked it around my family.
Yeah. That's great to hear. And that's what you wanted, wasn't it, when you're looking at gyms, was the family flexibility, was something like that. Which is, I guess, why bookkeeping would have been an appealing one to start, just because, you can work fully remote, with bookkeeping as well. So it's good to hear that laundry, you got that flexibility as well. And how's the training for you, Esther? So obviously, I remember meeting at training, and obviously you go to the laundry head office, I think, to do some training as well. So maybe do you want to tell people about the laundry training itself?
Yeah, the training was great. We spent a few hours on the road with a franchisee that trained us, and then to see how they work in a laundromat. Yeah, they taught us a lot, and to see how it goes in real life, that was really good. And then I actually requested an extra meeting with a different franchisee to learn how to run the business side of things for laundry. So as a Jim's Laundry franchisee, we actually can be trained for 3 days. If the first day you feel like you haven't learned everything you wanted to learn, you can ask for a bit more training. And that's what I did. And that was actually a big turning point for our business, because when I had that second meeting, I realized that I've been undercharging by a whole lot.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, how come I'm working so hard but not making any profits? But ever since that second meeting and I changed my pricing, my business has improved so much.
Yeah, it's interesting. A lot of franchisees, when they start, they tend to undercharge. They almost feel bad for charging what they're worth, and they don't realize what they're worth. And, it can be quite frustrating. So, simple thing like putting your prices up can feel a bit weird, but as you would know, a lot of customers will stay with you and they don't mind it at all.
That's right. Yeah. For my business plan from the beginning, my goal was to focus on NDIS households and elderly people on home care packages. So that's never changed from day one. And with these two groups of people, they are people who cannot do the laundry themselves because of a disability or because of old age. And so they are so grateful. And some of them don't even know how I charge. They're just grateful that, okay, someone's taking good care of the laundry and return it in a timely manner and offering great service. So customers, if they trust you and like you, they don't mind how much you charge. And some of them don't. They have no idea how much I charge.
I was going to say, so what's to you then is good service? So you've got a really good star rating. What's to you is good customer service?
Well, I love building a good relationship with my clients. And I even include my 4-year-old son in the service I offer. I'm not using him as free labor, but this my philosophy is that I think children are an important part of society, and they have something to give even at a young age. So when I do the pick up and drop off of laundry, my son often comes with me. We would knock on their door and say hello. And if they invite us in, sometimes my son would sing a song for them or do a dance or even give them drawings or, So for elderly people who are often quite isolated, for them, like one of my clients said to me last week, she said, when you come to my house, it makes my week. Because my son and I, we go and visit her every pickup, and she just loves that. It brightens up her week, she said.
I love hearing that, because that's quite a common thing I hear from not only from yourself, but from mowing franchisees, cleaning franchisees and stuff, especially with elderly customers. Really, really, as you said, it might be the only person they see for the week, or they only see a couple of people for the week and they really look forward to it. It's not just a service for them, but it's other things as well. So it's great to hear, and great to hear your son getting involved in the business. And as you said, not for free labour, but he's really, really showing it's a family business to customers, and they obviously love having him around. So that's fantastic to hear.
Yes. Yeah. And with every business, you need to know your point of difference.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, well, anyone can do wash, dry, fold, but what is it that I offer that stands out, and what can really make the day for a customer? And yeah, my son being involved, and even when my son doesn't come with me because he's at school, I will still go and say hi and to see how they are, how their week's been. So that's something that I really enjoy and love. And and that makes a real difference in their lives as well.
That's great to hear. Now, with the support from the cleaning group, laundry services head office, how has that been for you? Like, obviously, there's Bill, there's Sharon, I know Alicia. How's the support been from this team?
Oh, they've been amazing. From day one, I decided that I was going to be in touch with them every single day for a few weeks for ideas and for accountability and for encouragement. So I don't know if they found me annoying or not, but I was thinking, well, I've joined the family and I'm a baby, newborn baby. So, I need someone to hold my hand. So why not, and I knew once I got started, I would be okay. But the initial, for any business, the start is the hardest.
Yeah.
So I was in contact with them every day, and I would say, okay, I saw an ad on Seek.com for a support worker to do, household tasks for an elderly person. So then I would kind of apply for that job. So Alicia from the office and I, we would make a brochure and send to the email on Seek.com and say, I know you're looking for someone, but I can do this job for you. And so one of the things that we did was we emailed our local council. They were looking for carers in the home. And so I said, well, I can actually take care of the laundry for you. And from that, I've got quite a number of leads and clients from those emails. Yeah.
Very, very clever. I like hearing that sort of stuff. That's great. And it's good that you called your franchisor every day, because that's what they're there for. And it's quite common for franchisees, especially when they need to call every day. No franchisee should ever feel bad about calling their franchisor every day. That's what you pay them for. So that's good to hear that you took advantage of it as well. Now, what about the ongoing training with the team? I know they do a lot of meetings and stuff like that. So is it every 6 weeks or every 8 weeks you jump on the Zoom, or how do your meetings go?
Yes, because I'm in the regional area, so I'm not able to join in person. But what Bill does is that he puts us in small groups of 5 or 6 regional franchisees, and we meet every 6 weeks on Zoom. And I've learned a lot from those meetings. Some of the other franchisees, they are from a corporate world, and they know a lot about business, like advertising or marketing. So like there was one franchisee that really stood out to me. He said that he defined what an ideal client is. He said an ideal client is someone who books a pickup twice a week and gives you 3 bags of washing each time. That was a really new concept to me. I was thinking, when you first start, anyone who wants to book your service, you'll be, laughing. Mm. But he said you need to define who they are and where they live. They are not, say more than half an hour or 45 minutes outside of your place of residence or where you operate your business. Mm. So that really helped me to really hone in on the target, the target market. And so now in the Warrnambool area that, within 15 to 20 minutes, I can pick up 3 clients' laundry. So I'm not traveling 45 minutes for one client. I've really honed in on my territory, and my traveling decreases as time goes by because I know who my ideal client is and where they live.
Awesome. And how many hours roughly a week are you putting in the business now, Esther?
Oh, depends. So for the laundry work itself, I work 3 days a week, probably 4 to 5 hours at a time. But with the pick up and drop off, that would be about an hour.
Yep.
Each day. And then I also spend time working on marketing and social media. So that's on top of everything else.
Yeah. And financially, you're happy with what your business is doing currently?
Oh yeah. It's done better than I expected, especially being in a new division. Yeah.
No, especially being in a new division in a regional area as well, not just metro. You're in the regional area too, in Warrnambool, where I presume, obviously people might do the dry cleaning, drop off dry cleaning and stuff, but the pick up laundry service, I think people still need to get familiar with. But you do a great job on social media and promoting it and stuff like that, and using groups and things. And it's great to hear that you the other franchisees were so kind in giving their NDIS contacts when you first started as well. And for you, when you say, what were the challenges for you then maybe in the first couple of months? Was it just purely getting the customers, or what was the actual challenge that you had to push through in the first couple of months doing the division?
Probably brand awareness. Yes, that people are not aware that your service is available.
Yeah.
And so I dropped in at the local newspaper.
The Standard, yeah.
The Standard, yeah. And I said, I'm a new service, and I know there's a shortage of support workers for disability and workers for aged care. So I said, I'm here to fill in that market. So I said, can you write a story about me? So I stopped on their door. I was to get free advertising. So I know I probably went in 3 to 5 times to ask them to do the same thing. And it hasn't happened, but that's okay. But one of the first times that I went in there, I found a directory for NDIS providers. And there was a list of 20 to 30 NDIS providers in the area. So what I did was that I went in to every one of those and dropped in my business card and brochure. And from there, I gained, a number of my clients.
It's great. No, it's great to hear. So Standard hasn't written a story yet about you? Not yet?
No, not yet. I'm still working on that. Oh, you won an award. So I actually sent them a link to yours.
Nice.
And I said, maybe you can do it, do a story on Joel. And I was hoping to be able to tag along to that. But
I know. You think that's a good achievement for Warrnambool, and they would have given me a bit of a pump up, but they haven't. So that's
I really tried.
No, it's very good, Esther. The thing, if I'm listening to this, or anyone should listen to this, the great thing you've done is you have not sat on your hands and just said, to Jim's head office, give me leads, and if you don't give me leads, that's what you have said is the perfect stuff from yourself as a franchisee. Getting out there, going into the local newspaper, getting that directory, doing all those calls and stuff. That's all the fantastic proactive stuff that you've done in your business. Because if you didn't do that stuff, quite frankly, as you said, not have the brand awareness with the new division in there, it's very hard for your franchisor to do everything in regards to lead gen. Lead gen is getting more expensive and competitive, and your franchisor will do a great job as they can in the online stuff. But that in-person stuff that you said is absolutely fantastic, and the type of tenacity that you need to do in your new business. And obviously, you're far better for it because this is all stuff that's second nature to you now, and you've obviously got an existing customer base there supporting you, and all you can do is keep growing from here. So what's your plan after the first year in business? So you've done 12 months. What's your plan from here? Because the first 12 months is the hardest. So what are you planning to do for your business?
Well, I'm desperately looking for a casual staff at the moment.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So about 6 months ago, I put on my first casual staff, and that was great. But now she's not available, so I'm really working hard to find another staff, because I think that will take my business to the next level and to free up more time, because I want to use my time to promote the business, to grow my client base, to drop in, at more offices and more shops, and to gain more referrals. Whereas I want to outsource the laundry work itself to a reliable staff member.
Yeah, that's great to hear that. I didn't know you had a staff member. That's really good to hear in the space of a year that you've been able to do that as well. And so I've got to jump onto another Zoom at 10:30, but is there anything you want to say in the end? Like, obviously Jim's has worked out for you and there's a lot of fear, but what would you sort of say to someone? Maybe he was coming to the expo, maybe in a couple of weeks to see Jim. What would you sort of say to them about Jim's?
I just trusted that Jim has a huge wealth of experience in business. So he's definitely worth talking to in person or by phone or email. Jim is available and he's a real person that you can chat to. So if anyone's in doubt and not sure which division, not sure where to start, have a chat with Jim. Go to the office and they will put you through him. And the other thing that I want to mention from training was what Jim said about referrals. He said, I'm going to teach you how to ask for referrals without the fear of being rejected. And his line was, "Oh, if you know of anyone who needs the service, feel free to put them in touch with me."
Great business cards. Yeah, that's the one he
Yeah,
had.
that's right.
Yeah.
And I'm quite thick-skinned, but for most people, if they have that fear of rejection, using that line every time, people will say, "Yes, I'll let you know if I know of someone." So that really worked as well. So training was invaluable. I encourage anyone who's interested in business to go along to it.
Well, thank you very much for joining us today. So it's great to catch up with you, and well done on your success. And hopefully this Standard writes a story on you. Hopefully that you keep bugging them and they can write something. They don't have many stories, the Standard, so you're coming in there with a story from. You'd think they would write it. So hopefully they can get on board and do it.
Yes. Thank you so much, Noel.
Thanks, Esther. All right, have a good weekend. Thank you. Thank you for listening to the episode of the Gyms podcast. If you want to learn more about the Gyms Group, head to gyms.net or call us on 131 546 Australia or 0800 454 654 New Zealand. And if you did like the episode as well, please make sure you leave a review or a comment or a thumbs up or a comment on the video as well. We appreciate your support. And until next episode, we hope you have a great week.